Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. Businesses will be affected by people learning to do things at home. Now, that's been a continuous theme on here about the economic impact of the COVID-19 virus, right? Because you have everybody quarantining and everything. And I remember the other day I heard something about like clippers being confiscated being sold out in stores, right? Clippers, hair clippers and everything, right? In a few stores that are still open, like that would have them, like a Target or Walmart, and depending on the area, maybe some drugstores, but they sold out, right? Because one of the barbering or hair salons were considered non-essential. Now, in some places, they're opening up, but only for essential workers. So that still means that a majority of people can't go, right? So, you got people cutting their own hair. You got people maybe doing their own nails and figuring out stuff. And you definitely got people cooking more. I was like, hey, Rom can hook up some burgers and stuff and some wings. I could do that anyway, but I hadn't done that in a long time. So I started doing that again, right? And so I'm like thinking to myself, wow, I don't have to do this anymore. Like, for example, like the barbering thing wasn't big. I cut my whole hair anyway. Only time I would really go to a barber anyway is if I wanted a fade and I didn't feel like doing it myself. I can actually fade my own hair, right? So, but it'll look like it'll be decent to the average eye. Barber be like, oh, that's a good home cut, right? So, whatever the case. So I was doing that anyway, and but cooking, I was thinking about cooking, like especially when my sons come by and stuff, right? When they're over. Usually with them, I would take them to a restaurant. I take them out a lot, and there's some training there involved, but I ain't gonna get into that. But that was used to. I had I had to scratch. I could spend the money. But with all these restaurants closed to everything except takeout, I was like, shit, I'll just cook stuff myself, right? So I started, you started doing that. But now, even when they lift the restrictions, I'm like, I ain't in a big hurry to go back to the restaurant. I ain't in a big hurry at all. And see, if I'm thinking like that, a lot of people are. Think about it. A lot of people might not go to the restaurants they used to go to, or not to the same extent. Because, you had some people out here, they were eating fast food every day. But that was slowing down. They got to, even if they go into like one of these fast food burger joints, I ain't throwing any names out because they need to pay me. They need to pay me to mention them. But, actually, it don't matter. McDonald's or something like that, right? But see, that's different if you got to go through the drive-through all the time and you've got a long line there. You're like, all of a sudden, it's like, well, I don't really need that. Because people still got to eat. And, depending on where you are, it could be problematic and stuff to like go through it, be in a long line or pick up stuff. So you ain't doing it to the same extent. You figure out how to do it regardless. You might be one of those people who eat the sandwiches and stuff, and you figure out, shit, let me buy some stuff. Let me buy some stuff and fix it up. And then after a while, you like it. You're like, oh, Then, they open the stores back up. You're just like, well, I don't need to go back to that fast food place, that other place. Yeah, shit, I can fix this myself. I can put the wings on myself. I can fix a steak myself. All of a sudden, then people start finding that. They'll start finding some skills, right? See, in a lot of areas, people are developing their skills at home because they can't, it's hard for them to get somebody to come do it for them and stuff. Now, yeah, some stuff like plumbing or something, they'd be all right. But a lot of little stuff, because many of the businesses that were put out, since they were non-essential, they were like discretionary businesses. Like people don't have to eat at any restaurant at all. They was just doing it for fun or anything. But now they might be like, oh, hold up. Why should I do that? It's like, oh, why do I need to go to a bar or something to drink? People were going to meet people or whatever. But some people might just say, you know what, I got some friends. Let me just invite them over to my place. these businesses, people might figure out how to do whatever it is. People, if they were going out doing it and they still wanted, they had to do it. Now, of course, when everything opened back up, some people gonna go back to the restaurants. Some people are gonna go back to the barbers, but many people won't. And depending on the location and the clientele, that's gonna put some people out of business. Even the gym. Now, I'm big on the gym, but I'm just like, if people got enough weights at home, they might not need the gym. Seriously. Seriously. Especially if they get used to working out by themselves. Now, you still got a social element at gyms people might miss. Heck, it's something I miss. But I was thinking about it. I was like, well, push come to shove. Because I've heard some gyms might close. I'm like, well, shoot, I can work out at home. Biggest thing I miss is bench pressing, but everything else I can do. And once they start up businesses again, I can get some like heavy barbell or dumbbells or curl bars and everything. So I'm like, like push come to shove. If hypothetically like my gym didn't open, I'd be like, I don't have to really go. And and a lot of people might not. A lot of people might say, hey, let me work out at home. Let me do stuff. Oh, I've been doing a lot walking. In fact, I was in a Target the other day. I noticed most of the bikes were gone. People, it's going to change some stuff. So businesses that these people, that will change because they will be affected. Now, some businesses, they might be able to survive depending on the clientele, what they offer and everything. But there's going to be there's probably be some bankrupts. Some people might go out of business. Even with the stimulus money and stuff. If people stop going, because I'm going to be real with you, a lot of businesses, that's one thing about business, a lot of businesses want to raise a thin profit margins anyway. And indeed, some businesses were already losing money. Like there's one business around there. I haven't yet to step foot in there. It was a boxing gym. I never seen a lot of people in there. I drove by. I used to wonder, they open? Oh, they might just be in trouble now. They might be in trouble now. So, because people doing stuff, they figure, hey, I can do it for myself. Like I said, because if you really look at it, a lot of business is social anyway. But if people get out of that habit or decide, hey, I can do this at home, boom, what are they going to do? Because people are learning to do these things at home. They figuring it out. Especially the cooking thing. I think that's going to affect a lot of restaurants. Like if somebody's in the right location, they probably still do well. But if they in the wrong location or some obscure, and I've seen like places in obscure locations, they might be in trouble. Oh, I still got some I'm going to go to, but not to the same extent. Not to the same extent that I would have. And that's one of the things now, I expanded this to money matters. But any business people, you need to keep that in mind. Business people still, still listening here, You got to keep that in mind. It's like, well, am I going to really be able to stay in business? Because you got to think, is your business the type where you were doing stuff for other people, but if they figure out to do it for themselves, boom. Like especially barbers and stuff. Like I said, some barbers, they'll probably be all right. The people going to still come to them. But other ones, if they got enough of their people figure out how to cut their own hair decent, boom. And there's so many things. Nail salons, like something. It's like a lot of little things. Even hair. Hair, definitely hair. I'm going to keep mentioning hair. That's going to be a big one. Gyms. If they smaller, like the larger gyms might be able to make it because they got so many things and those are communities anyway. But you get the smaller places or even, even the people who work there, like you get like a lot of personal trainers might be affected. Personal trainers at the gyms might be affected. So it's so many. So it will be an effect. It'd be interesting to see what's going on. But as businesses die out, others rise. I'm going to talk about that in the next podcast. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all. Peace.